Carlos, I'm going to start with you. It's yet another year where KZN is getting ready to host quite a pick of youth talent from Europe in particular.
Thank you very much. I think it's an exciting moment in South African football, this being the 4th edition of the tournament. The exciting part is that after scouting in 11 regions of KwaZulu-Natal, we've now got our team that we're preparing for this international tournament, and to have the likes of Benfica and Flamengo, one of Brazil's biggest teams, if not the biggest, to come join with Deportivo de Coruña from Spain, and showcasing South African talent against the best in the world. And we've proven in the last 3 editions that our boys can actually compete.
And Carlos, I mean, we had Arsenal win the last 2 editions of this tournament, but it looks like a little bit more of a Latin flavour, more Spanish, Brazilian. What was the thinking behind that? Is this to get the academy side or the under-19 side, is it to get them more up to speed with what might be happening on the continent?
Well, I think it's very important for us to understand that the more diversity of football that we are able to compete against, the better it is for the tournament. Also for our South African players, is that we're trying to groom players for our national teams. And if we're playing, for example, ASEC Mimosa, which is Ivory Coast's famous academy where Yaya Toure and Kolo Toure came from, and then we have Midtjylland from Denmark, and then having the Spanish giants of Deportivo, we get a full mix. We have South American football, we got African football, we got European football, and the Scandinavian flavour brought into the tournament. And every year you'll see that we always try innovate into the tournament with bringing different teams with different cultures, with different sporting elements into our football, which makes a big difference for our players.
Right, well, I want to bring Smart in here because he's the head coach of the KZN Academy. Smart, having the likes of this kind of opposition for your young chargers who are still in their developmental stages, how does that pan out as a coach?
Thank you. For me, it's a good platform for us to take part in the tournament, because that is where we have to challenge our young boys. We know that some of them had not been in a similar situation before, but there is no other way to learn. The only way is to expose them. I believe that with the hard work we are putting, they will be in line with what is demanded on the game.
And Smart, if past tournaments are anything to go by, it seems like they really do relish the challenge. The KZN Academy, the SA Under-19 team, do very well in this type of tournament, don't they?
I beg yours?
I'm saying your team, the KZN Academy, they don't do too badly when it comes to playing against these high-powered teams, do they?
They did well when we play against the big teams. I think the problem we had in the last tournament, because I was part of the technical team in the last tournament, is that at some point we lack a bit of a mental side. But we are trying to address that, because I think it's the only part that is lacking in our team.
And Carlos, I'm going to bring you in there as well. What do you see these youngsters doing when they take on these so-called big-name clubs? It seems like they do rise to the occasion, don't they?
Well, I think the exciting part is the opportunity that's presented to these youngsters is the opportunity to play these top teams. You look at these academies that have been around for 7 years grooming these players, and within a short period of 1 year, we work with these players to identify what is required from them. And there's no bigger challenge than playing Arsenal Football Club. And when the international teams come here, they are surprised at the quality of the players we have. Hence, last year, the KZN Academy beat Arsenal Football Club 2-1. The previous year we had drawn 1-1 with them. We had beaten PSV Eindhoven 3-2 in the 2015 edition. Again, we drew 1-1 with Arsenal there. And it's a great achievement for these boys. The thing is, it's important that we understand that football is not just a recreational sport. We understand that football is an opportunity to create employment. These boys take an opportunity like this, they showcase their talent, and they are groomed automatically. If we look at Thabo Kele last year, in March, April, was sitting in KwaMashu. Within a period of 10 months, he was signed up for the biggest agent in the world, George Mendes. He signed a 5-year contract with Benfica Football Club, which is one of the biggest teams in the world. And he is now currently with the under-20 team in the World Cup in Korea. And his life has changed completely, not only for himself, but for his family and for his community. He has now become a role model. And I think this is what we need to look at football, that it's not just recreational. It's a sport that can take a lot of these players from the poverty and miss opportunities that they're not going to have elsewhere. And that's why this tournament is so exciting. It showcases everything these players require.
Well, Carlos, it certainly sounds exciting, and it sounds like the benefits are there. Gentlemen, I want to thank you very much for joining us tonight, and we're going to look forward to this tournament with bated breath. Thanks so much.